Everything you wanted to know about the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique from someone who was terrified to work there. Hi guys, what's up? It's AJ from quarantine. I am so excited to make this video today. This is definitely a video I wanted to make for a long time, but it's definitely being made a lot sooner than I thought it was going to be made. I was part of the Spring 2020 college program at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. I loved my life, and 7 weeks into the role, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, I had to be sent home. So I'm filming this from my house and not my DCP apartment, but that's actually okay because I wanted to make a ton of vlogs during this college program and I was unable to, and a big reason because of that was my Wi-Fi. I thought my Wi-Fi was really bad on my first college program when I was at Patterson, but on this college program, I was at the Commons. I was in like the furthest apartment back in the Commons. My walk to the bus stop from my apartment in Commons to the Commons bus stop was the same walk as my actual walk from Patterson to the Chatham bus stop that I had to make every day. So it was ridiculous, and because we were so far back, we had absolutely no Wi-Fi. I couldn't be sitting in my bedroom watching a movie on my laptop. The Wi-Fi would not connect to my bedroom, it only connected in my living room. Luckily, I had amazing roommates, so we had lots of movie nights in the living room together. That's why I had no vlog. That's what happened with that. But I'm here and I want to talk about the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique role because when I first got accepted into the role, there was no videos on it, absolutely none. I could watch transformations online, but no one ever talked about their experience in the role. So I feel like it's time to start talking about the experience in the role because I was terrified going into it. So here it is, everyone, the real tea about working at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. So first thing I want to cover is I was at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. I was a fairy godmother in training. I was a hair fairy, so I did the hair for the little girls at the Disney Springs location. There are 3 locations of the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, but college program kids can only be at the castle and at Disney Springs at the moment. Just the Grand Floridian location is super, super small. There's only 5 chairs. They really don't have any need for college program kids there. So right now we are only at the castle and at Disney Springs. I was at Disney Springs, and that is all I'm gonna say about the multiple locations because that's all they are is different locations. They are the same transformations, they are the same hairstyles, they are the same dresses being sold to the same age of kids. Both locations have Make-A-Wish kids, both locations get VIP parties. They are exactly what they sound like, 2 different locations. They are both super magical in their own ways. And I will say, I was scared working at Springs, and I did find out originally on my itinerary because my experience with Disney Springs as a whole, not about the boutique, about as a whole, was that it was a shopping mall. I thought I'd be working in a shopping mall and that it wouldn't be magical, but it absolutely was. The Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is on the very, very, very far furthest corner of Disney Springs, and it's its own little magical hideaway. It is completely magical there. It's amazing, and that's all I'm gonna say about locations. So I want to start out with my favorite parts about working at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and the hardest parts about working at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. I would 100% say that the best part about working at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique was the people that I worked with. For anyone who doesn't know me, this is my second college program. My first one was in spring 2018 as a Jungle Cruise skipper. That Jungle Cruise is on my YouTube channel if you want to find it. Good luck. I was really worried going into this because I love the Jungle Cruise and I loved my coworkers there, and I was super scared about working with all girls because I'm gonna be so honest, I've had pretty rough experiences with all girls in the past. I grew up a competitive dancer, which was just mostly girls. I tried a sorority experience, which was all girls, which it just didn't turn out super well. So I was so worried going into this, but I will say that the girls that I met working at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique were like no girls I've ever met in my entire life. The girls are so strong, they are so confident, they are just so wise, and especially the cool thing about the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, it's older cast members that work there, and they are just full of so much wisdom, and it's not very like CP run. What I thought was really cool about it was that I really didn't feel like I was on a college program. I felt like I was in a full-time role with the Disney company. And I've heard other people say this as well. The boutique does not feel like you're on a college program. You have your college program kids there and it's super fun. You have your college program friends, but everyone there is just kind of on another level, and it's kind of a whole nother level of respect there from the full-time and part-timers that work there. And I thought that was really cool. It was just the most amazing experience I've ever had with other cast members, especially when everything was happening with us having to leave on a short notice. I felt the most like a family I ever have felt in my life. That was the coolest experience. And the best part too was just how much fun you can have there. You can be so goofy because you're working with children, even when like there's not a ton of kids around and you're kind of just hanging out with the other fairy godmothers in training that are there. It's just so goofy. It's such a fun atmosphere. When you're working with kids, you're telling crazy stories with kids, but just working in that whole environment as a whole, it's a very magical atmosphere, and I thought that was so fun. I'd say the hardest part is the prestige that comes with the Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique. When I worked in attractions, it was like you paid your ticket to go into the Magic Kingdom, but like if they didn't have a good experience at the Jungle Cruise, they just walked over to Pirates and had a great time. But at the Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique, they're paying for that experience, and there's a certain level of expectation that comes with working in an experience like that. People ask like if the Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique is merchandise or this or that. It's really just an experience. It's just what they call it. I mean, it's technically a boutique role at the Disney company, but it's called an experience. So just the kind of pressure that comes with working in an experience like that, where they're paying a lot of money for you to be with their child and make all their dreams come true, can kind of have a lot of pressure. I love transformations. I've met the sweetest kids at the boutique, like just the most amazing kids I've ever met in my entire life. But then there are the needle in a haystack experiences that just come with a lot of pressure. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. Just it's a lot of pressure, and you definitely have to be able to work under pressure and be pretty confident in yourself and your abilities, and that you know what you're doing, which brings me to my next part. So I asked my old spring 2018 roomies to give me some questions that they had about the Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique. So now I'm gonna go through some questions that I've been asked. One of the first questions I was asked was, how hard is it to learn the hairstyles and what is training like? The hairstyles are actually really fun. It's the first day of training. You literally walk in there and they're like, great, and you go into this like back room and you learn all the hairstyles, and that's it. And you do that for like 2 days of the training. And I can't tell you like a ton about the training, but I will say they teach you all the hairstyles, and they make sure, your trainer makes sure that you know the hairstyles before you are with the kids. What I thought was really cool about the boutique was that you get a different trainer every day of training, which was different in attractions. We got the same trainer every day of training. We got someone different at the boutique every day, which at first I was nervous about because I thought they were going to teach us different ways to do things and it'd get really confusing. But that's exactly what they did, was teach us different ways to do the same hairstyles. And you kind of eventually get a trainer that like tells you one thing and you're like, oh, I get it now, which is actually really nice. So you get a different person watching you every day. You get a different person giving you tips and tricks every day. And that's really what helped everything come together in the training and made it really awesome. The trainers give you little quizzes because each hairstyle comes with accessories and you have to know what goes with which. So it's kind of just a puzzle of putting it all together in your head. Like even when you're on the floor with the princess, if you're in training, like you can be like, yo, is this right? And they check it before you let the princess go to their next adventure. I will say I cried the night before my training started. Bless my roommate's soul. She had to deal with me because I had done makeup before, but I had never done hair before. And I thought that I shouldn't be here. And before we even started, and then I ended up loving it and had an amazing experience through training and ended up getting the hang of it kind of right away. You definitely get it. You'll get it. It's amazing. So do you get a lot of nights, and what do they get? So yeah, we get a lot of nights at the Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique. So nights, same thing as the princesses, between 3 to 12. A lot of time it's the brothers or cousins or whoever of the princesses. And nights get a fun little night package where we take what we called dragon slime, and which is the gel, and for the princesses we call it jellyfish jelly, and we take the dragon slime and we spike up their hair so that when all the other dragons see them, they're all like super scared, or if they want, we can comb it over and like smooth it over to the side too, depending on whatever the knight wants. And then we have these little treasure chests full of dragon scales, which is just a bunch of little confetti, and we like show them, we're like, yeah, we got this huge chest of dragon scales and we're gonna put it in your hair so that whenever the dragons see you, they're already afraid of you and that you're gonna slay them or tame them. We ask them if they're a dragon slayer or a dragon tamer, and we put the dragon scales in their hair, and it's just like really like colorful and fun, and we pixie dust them to give them some extra strength, because pixie dust is full of really tough strength for the princes and the knights. And then we give them a shield and a sword. And whenever we for the girls, we turn them around. We're like, hey, close your eyes, princess. And then we turn them around so they can see themselves in the mirror. And you say, bippity, boppity, boo, open your eyes and look at you. For the knights, so we just count. We just go 3, 2, 1, and then they look at. Then you turn them around to the mirror, and they go charge, and then they get the picture of them looking all tough. Next, I got a question about positions. So this was something that I did not know about the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. So if you're interested in the role for the college program, or if you already are accepted into the role for a college program, this is what I didn't know. I thought you are in the chair in the salon doing hair all day long, doing hair, nails, makeup all day long, and you're not. My next question was also a day in the life of the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, so this kind of goes into that. I'm going to kind of cover 2 questions in one. At the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, you are either working from 8 to 2 or 2 to 8, or from 9:15 to 7:30. I will be honest, at the Jungle Cruise, I did not have many 10-hour days. At the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, you rarely don't get 10-hour days. And I was terrified of that, but it's not that bad. So when you walk in the morning, there's a board that has an AM side and a PM side. The AM positions go from 8 to 2. The PM side goes from 2 to 8. If you're working a 10-hour day, you're most likely going to be on the position board, which is what happened for me, which was really nice because that helps 10-hour days go by super fast, because you are not in the salon all day. Honestly, I think that 10-hour days went by way faster than 6-hour days. And that's really it with the day in the life of what it was like at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. And so the way positions work at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, I think we have 5 positions. There's greeter, who is exactly what it sounds like. They stand at the door, they wave to people. Podium helps check people in for reservations. There's fitting room. They bring the princesses into the fitting room so they can get in their dresses if they have the dress to change into, and they meet the fairy godmother in there, and that kind of gets them started on their adventure. And then there's seater, who places the princesses and knights and families in chairs around the salon. And then there's actual salons. And my favorite one was definitely fitting room. There's a lot of storytelling that goes in the fitting room. You bring the princesses in from the lobby. If they do have a dress package where they got a dress that we gave them, it's already in there when they go into the chamber. So it's really exciting. That's what I love about fitting room, is that if you're bringing them in from the lobby, you're like, oh my goodness, princess, I heard that Jock and Gus have been working all day on some big surprise for a very special princess, and I have no idea what they've been working on. So maybe you can help me find out what it is. And then you turn the corner into the royal chamber, their fitting room, and the dress is in there with the crown and a wand, and they're just like, wow. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is what Jock and Gus must have been working on all day. That's so exciting. And then you check for tinker tangles, and then you ask them if they know the magic words, bippity boppity boo, and then you say it together. You say 1, 2, 3, bippity boppity boo, and then the fairy godmother appears on the mirror, and it's really, really beautiful, and it's so much fun. And also with fitting room, if it's busy at the boutique, it's busy in fitting room, and you're always moving, and it can go by really fast, and it can be really chaotic, and that's what I really liked about it. My least favorite position was podium. I did like it. It's just that's where you bring out a lot of prices and packages, and I'm very awkward. I would be terrible in merchandise. I'm super awkward about talking about money. Some people are so good and they can sell everything. I'm really awkward when it comes to talking about money. So that was kind of a position. I was getting better at it before we had to leave. Greeter is also fun. You just stand there and you just talk to kids we only have 2 podiums to check people in. So if there's if there's 3 or more families that show up at the same time, they're just kind of waiting. So you organize the line of them to go up to each podium, and you get to talk to kids. And I think that was really fun. You get to be like, are you excited about this and that? Sometimes they're scared, and you get to calm their nerves, and that's at Greeter, and you just get to make a lot of magic there. But that's a little bit about the positions. Yeah, fitting room was my favorite. My dear friend Amanda, who is a fairy godmother in training there, she was called so we call fitting room Fra, fitting room attendant. And Amanda was the Fra La La queen because she got it all the time. And so I always got it Fra with Amanda. And so that was just our thing. We had so much fun there. Yeah. Okay, so that's a little bit about the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. This was a lot of information, and hopefully my editing skills can kind of help put it into a little bit more sense. This video was so much fun to make. I miss the Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique so much. Every single day I think about it, and I think especially about the friends that I made there. And luckily I still am super in contact with all the friends that I made there and how much I love them. And yeah, and I just can't wait to see them all again when Disney World opens. But I'm really happy that I made this video because I know that this was one thing I was missing going into the Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique role, was someone to give me a little information about it. So I hope that this answered some questions. Because if any more questions, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. That link is down, my handle is down in the description below. Also, I can answer some comments on here, but DMing me on Instagram with your questions is probably the best way to reach me. But thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it answered some of your questions, and I can't wait to see you all soon. Okay, everyone, Bibbidi Bobbidi bye.